into authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us, from personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation.
Hack into FDMG Academy account. So the FDMG Academy account is frozen. My personal account is also frozen. That means we're going to lapse on our utility bills. We're going to lapse on our internet bill. We're going to lapse on a lot of our bills at FDMG. The bank is not giving me a timeline as to when this situation is going to be resolved. If I don't have Cash App, nor does FDMG have Cash App. I do not have a Cash App. I only have Apple Pay and PayPal. If you can spare a few dollars, send it to my Apple Pay, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858, or my PayPal, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist. Although Leo season is off to a rocky start, brothers and sisters.
Now, why do we think Dr. Umar doesn't have Cash App? Because, when you start grifting on stuff and using Cash App for purposes of doing things like this school and then it never happening, people start complaining and they shut your Cash App down, right? They say this person can no longer receive Cash App or send money through Cash App. That's more than likely the reason why Dr. Umar doesn't have a Cash App.
We will overcome. Shout out to all my donors. Newark, New Jersey, I'ma see you. Nat Turner, I'ma see you. Mobile, Alabama, I'ma see you. New Orleans, Louisiana, Hurricane Katrina, I'ma see you. Kenya, January, I'ma see you. FDMG is coming. We just got to lay down on floors, brothers and sisters. Lay down on floors, and we applying for a certificate of occupancy. I don't have any money in my pocket because my account is frozen. If you could send a few dollars to Dr. Umar for Apple Pay or PayPal,
Umar doesn't have cash at all. He said he has absolutely no money that he can call his own. Dr. Umar doesn't have, I don't know. I know he has children. I think they're all grown. I don't know if Dr. Umar has children under the age of 18 to where he's still paying child support, but he may be. Because Lennon Honor has spoken about it. Like I said, go to Lennon Honor page and let him get you versed on Dr. Umar because he has documentaries on Dr. Umar. He has countless hours of Dr. Umar coverage from the ins and outs of his life. So he would know whether or not Dr. Umar got kids under 18 and is still actively paying child support for. However, we hear Dr. Umar doesn't have a home, a car, or anything like that. So it's like, why don't you have money at least, Dr. Umar? Because you're on lots of podcasts. I know they're paying you for them to talk about things of culture, life in general, hot topics, trending topics like Diddy, Carmelo Anthony, Shannon Sharp. You do all these interviews, and I see you damn near every day doing interviews, some goddamn where or something. And I know they're paying you, and I know you are charging them handsomely to pay you to talk on their platforms that you know is going to make them a lot of money. So it's like, okay, Dr. Umar, why don't you have a dime to call your own for your life right now? That is very unmanagerial of the Pan-African prince, Dr. Umar, wouldn't you say?
Appreciate it. Black Queens forever. Snow Bunnies never. Enjoy your weekend. Leo season forever. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
All right, Pocket Watchers, that is what the good doctor has to say about the situation. He is claiming that both his personal and business bank accounts are frozen, and it is because of his very many haters. Now it's time for the Pocket Watcher conspiracy theory. This is where I use my education and experience as a real financial advisor to come up with an alternative explanation as to why Dr. Umar is where he is today.
Yeah, we going.
All right, so now let's go pocket watching. Here we go. I have every single tax return this man and his organization has filed with the IRS. I have the 2020, 2021, 2022.
And I hear, let me cut you off, sir. I hear the IRS is watching Dr. Umar. I hear that they are starting to look into the almost 20-year grift he's been on for this FDMG school business that has never been a business or, even opened a door for a child to go in and read a book in it. I hear that the IRS is starting to look at Dr. Umar for some things.
2023 and the most recent 2024 tax returns. According to each and every tax return for the past 5 years, his organization has collected over $400,000, $405,913 in donations. Now, here's the thing that's a little bit odd. 2 out of the 5 years, this man is claiming that he collected absolutely no money in donations. So in 2020, this man claims he did not collect 1 penny in donations. And in 2022, this man is claiming he accepted or collected absolutely no money in donations. Now that seems extremely odd for a man who posts videos online like this.
Donations, 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 gifts, 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 more gifts, more gifts.
It's extremely hard to believe that this man was able to go a full year, 365 straight days, without getting 1 penny in a donation for tax year 2020 and for tax year 2022. All right, now let's dig into the expenses. Where is the money going? Now, according to his financial reports, he is claiming that over a 5-year period, he spent a total of $71,412 in expenses. Now, that sounds good if you're trying to make money, but the problem is this. Over that 5-year period, he is claiming that every one of those dollars was spent in only one tax year, 2021. So you're telling me in 2020, 2022, 2023, and 2024, you spent absolutely nothing in business expenses. So no utilities, no repairs, nothing in 4 out of the 5 years of the organization. In your words, that sounds a little bit...
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Another thing that seems a bit odd is the fact that over that 5-year period, each and every year, Dr. Umar Johnson is described as the executive director of the organization and claims that he works 60-hour weeks every single week out of the year over a 5-year period, but yet he claims absolutely nothing in compensation. He gets paid nothing for all that hard work. All right, so now let's dive deep into these numbers and see what the story says. So based on the information provided by Dr. Umar and his tax filings, FDMG had a cash balance at the beginning of 2020 in the amount of $518,048. Pretty good. Over $500,000 in cash at the beginning of 2020. But by the end of 2024, its cash balance was $56,162. So that means during that 5-year period, the cash of this organization decreased by $461,886. But it gets worse because we actually have to do the math on the profit and loss of each year. Based on the information that's provided in the tax returns, the organization actually had a positive cash flow of $330,501. That means the organization made money over that 5-year period. So when we actually run the numbers, that's a discrepancy of actually over $792,000. But we were able to dig in to the numbers and see where some of that money went. Well, based on the information, in 2020, that is the year where the real estate of the organization was purchased. Now, I'm giving him saying that he spent $436,996 on the real estate. That may not be the true number, but that's what he claims the property is worth. So I'm going to give him that as a cash deduction. Now, he also claims that he paid off $54,361 worth of debt. So that is also a deduction from the cash balances. And he also claims that he was able to invest $141,278. So we still have a discrepancy of almost $160,000. So where did this money go? So we have Dr. Umar Johnson claiming that both his personal and business bank accounts have been frozen due to the evil and jealous acts of his haters. But as another option, we have the pocket watcher conspiracy theory that could say, listen, maybe the IRS and other government agencies are looking at these tax returns that have crazy inconsistencies of money coming in and money going out, and they put a hold on the account because they have the same questions that the pocket watcher has. Where is the money going? If you're working 60-hour weeks, why are you not getting paid? How can you have multiple years where you claim you had absolutely no money in donations, but at the same time you claim that you have multiple years and absolutely no money in expenses? Maybe, just maybe, it's not your haters who has your financial situation in trouble. Maybe it's your own inability to properly report the inflow and outflow of cash for the organization. And for those of you who are unaware, both the state of Pennsylvania and the Internal Revenue Service has already put Dr. Umar Johnson and his academy on notice that he is unable to collect funds as a nonprofit organization because of his lack of transparency and providing the financial information they requested.
And they requested that. Let's go back and look at that date. They requested that back in March of 2022, 3 years ago. And we know damn well that Dr. Umar Johnson has been collecting donations on the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG Leadership Academy. Dr. Umar's going to go to jail, y'all. Is what I think.
Because of his lack of transparency and providing the financial information they requested. Thanks for watching Pocket Watching with JT. We are going to stay on top of this story.
Yeah, Dr. Umar is the biggest Pan-African panhandler on the internet. Okay, so
All right, so check it out. Dr. Umar Johnson says he's broke because his business and personal bank accounts have been frozen. There's a lot I want to say here, but first, let's check it out.
Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal.
There's so much here, but first things first, why are y'all still giving this guy money? I don't understand. Listen, I remember back at least 2014, but really 2010, he put a video out talking about the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. He had this grand dream of being able to educate black boys and get them out of poverty, all this, that, and the third. And all he needed to make this dream come true was your money. And he's been getting that money for the better part of a decade. And no school has materialized. Aside from the school thing, let's get back to the money. Bro, you had 2 accounts that got froze and you just out back with no money and you scrambling. That's crazy. First of all, why do you have your old school boyhood account right next to your business account? That should be in a separate bank, and you should have multiple accounts for business and personal. Also, you need to have access to other capital if your hard cash is disrupted. Okay, do you have a stock portfolio? You should be able to reach into that and take out about 5-10 bands if you need it. Do you have any assets? I got cars outside. If I need 30 bands to sell my cars and I got them. I'm also a homeowner, as you can see. I could take out a HELOC, worst coming to worst, but the main thing you should have is a credit. Bro, if you have credit, that's all you need. I got a lot of credit cards. I got one credit card with $20,000 on it. And if I'm short $5,000, I don't have the hard cash, I just put the $5,000 on that. And you know what's funny? If you pay the full amount that you charge on the credit card before the actual due date, there's no interest. So you should have had other ways to be able to bridge yourself through this gap. And since you don't, that lets me know you're not really qualified to be an educator. Why would I pay you any money to educate kids? And why would y'all send y'all kids to him? This is ridiculous. All right, so check it out. Dr. Umar Johnson says he's broke because his business and personal bank accounts.
Why doesn't Dr. Umar have a bank account to where you put your money in the bank, say it does get compromised? Like, I have credit union banks, right? And if my money ever gets compromised because people scheme every day, and unfortunately I had a scammer that I thought was my friend, that was a nail technician, and she scammed me, right? So I had to, essentially have my cards and stuff frozen and resent and new counts, things like that. So, but I also was able to have the money that I would need to tide me over. This is with credit unions. This isn't even with banks. Okay. Afforded for me to use in my virtual credit card until the money gets recouped, because it's your money any fucking way, right? You get it recouped or whatever, and then you just pay it back on the back end once ever your money is recovered from your bank, getting it from the person that frauded you, because all your bank does is go to their bank accounts or whatever, however have you, and they get the money from their bank accounts as long as you can prove that it was fraud. Y'all drop down in the chats. Let me know what y'all experience have been with fraud and scammers, because I know everybody today has a story.
We talk about the financial crisis within the African race, and I would say it's a Pan-Africanist issue because I see it throughout the diaspora and on the continent. Okay. Number one, we are married to capitalism. Okay. We do not practice cooperative economics. We do very little together financially. Most of our collective work is focused within religion, but it is not focused within economics. We are not building hospitals together. We are not building schools together. We are not building supermarkets together. We're not running farms together. We are not creating the institutions that we need. Cooperative economics is what's keeping African people behind the 8 ball in comparison to all the other human families. When you look at Chinese, when you look at European Jews, when you look at the Arabs, when you look at East Indians, Anglo-Saxons, everybody's working together on some level. Those communities are not utopias either, but they do cooperate economically.
100%.
They'll buy a whole street and turn it into businesses for their community.
100%.
They'll buy a whole shopping mall and turn it into businesses for their community. We don't do that. We are allergic to using our money to further our reality. Understand this, a people who are politically disorganized will be economically disorganized. Your economic disorganization will feed your political disorganization.
Boy. So we got to talk about a hilarious video that is going viral of the Prince of Panhandleism, Dr. Umar Johnson, also known as the Prince of Pan-Africanism, okay, who is apparently broke, okay? He's broke, and he claims that he's broke because they froze his accounts, yet he is asking for donations via PayPal and Apple Pay. Now, what is hilarious about this is that this guy has been asking for donations, begging black people for donations for years to build a school that this guy has not built, but yet, you know, he runs around begging for more money, and stupid people continue to send him money, and he doesn't have anything to show for it, right? And him being broke now is no surprise to me, because guys like this, they love to talk a big game, especially about economics, right? But when it comes down to their own personal finances, right, their own personal economics and their life, they're not very good, okay? Which is why his school has not been open, right? Because you can't trust these clowns with money, right? The downfall of a black activist is always going to be finances, right? Because apparently they have no clue how to manage money. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
With that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account.
They should have done that. That's the thing that I'm saying. I know that I have never grifted any money from anything. If I have a cause to support, I have a, valid receipt to show you guys the cause. Like I have like a small not-for-profit thing that I do for families and reunification from, being up for whatever various reasons, economically, systematically, that may have occurred to them in their life. And so I've had that for like 5 years. I have it on mostly Facebook, where I have like a group chat where there's like hundreds of families in there over the years that we all get together and just give each other support, resource, help. I mean, we've got together in the community at times over the years, helped each other, went to court with each other, all types of stuff. So, I mean, to support me in doing that, because essentially I was the founder of that. I am the founder of that. It's called the Restore Family Project. And people will send me donations so that I can keep my light bill on, my internet. I can fly people to out-of-state court dates. I can, help people keep their own lights on so that they can see their way through family, systematic, economical issues that may be a struggle for them, but they also have something bigger at hand to do, right? So they need that stability to be able to stand to be able to get to where they need to get with their family, correct? So people will support that. That's something people can see. You can go on my Facebook and see reviews of my groups, things like that. People, give me raving reviews about just the help and support and who I am and what I have been to them and, what it means to them. I haven't heard any stories about anybody talking about the FDMG school, except in ways that are not positive for Dr. Umar. So, yeah, that's what is given, Dr. Umar. You should definitely be able to have a credit union or I ain't talking about Cash App and PayPal. They don't care about your money being scammed. Okay. I don't know about Apple Pay, but they don't care about your money being scammed, sir. But like a regular credit union will. And so they will front you the money until they get your money back from the bank of whoever scams you. Yeah.
For $1. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I've only asked you to donate to the FDMG Academy for Boys. I don't have any sons. I have 2 daughters. So the FDMG campaign is a selfless project, mission, and service to provide our boys with the education that they deserve. But
so why hasn't it been built yet?
We're the Skaggs family, Matthew and Cosette, and we are owners of Jellyfish Lighting. We've lived in this house 7-8 years, and I had not put up Christmas lights yet, or I'd done a half job by putting up the Grinch.
We had been wanting to do it, and then I finally got a bid for regular lights after a couple of years, and then when we found out how much regular lights cost, we're like, forget that. So we decided to do Jellyfish, which has been awesome. Yeah.
I just love.
Why hasn't it been built? Why don't you have anything to show for it? Right? I've never asked anybody for any money in my life. Okay, so all that money that supposedly is going towards this school, this academy, whatever, why is it that this dude has nothing to show for it if none of it ever went into your pocket personally? Does everybody understand that this makes no sense, right? This makes absolutely zero sense. He's saying, now, oh, well, the donations are for me personally. So how do you make your money? Right? How do you make your own personal money? Now, again, I guess some people could say that he does, talk shows, or he'll go on the Breakfast Club or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. He'll do these appearances for money, and that is probably how he makes money, right?
Yeah.
But
where is it?
The question is
fuck.
If you're making all this
money, ain't got no real
he's not making money
because he don't live nowhere. He don't have no assets.
Then why is it
put gas
that you're broke? Right? Why are you broke? Okay, you mean to tell me you keep all your money in one account, right? You don't have multiple accounts to spread your money around in just in case one of the accounts get frozen, right? You taking all these trips overseas.
Thank you, Dr. Umar is always forever going somewhere. And
you're not using credit cards. Again, it doesn't sound right to me because, when you go overseas, it's definitely better for you to use credit than cash, right? Mm-hmm. You definitely should probably have a credit card if you, again, for situations like this, okay? So again, he just seems to be all around financially irresponsible. This is like a standard thing for people that got a lot of money. You don't keep all your money in one account. Right, at one bank, okay? You spread it around here and there, right? Just in case one bank goes under, okay? You good, right? Just in case one account gets frozen, you got another account. You don't put all your money in one account at one bank. So, again, something just ain't sitting right with me, okay, about this. Something ain't sitting right. Regardless, there are people who are going to still continue to donate to this guy, right? They're going to listen to this and say, oh, yeah, this sounds about right, right? Let me send this man a few more dollars. Probably liberal black women, okay, who this guy appeals to because that's essentially what he's doing. He's simping to the liberal black woman because the liberal black woman is overly emotional, right? And all you got to do is just pull at the heartstrings of her emotions, and that's how you can get her to empty her pockets, right? And send money to this guy. And the worst part about it is that you're going to have these so-called pro-black platforms like the Breakfast Club and all these other podcasts, they're going to continue to host this guy, right? They're going to continue to host this dude who is taking all this money from black folks, and he has nothing to show for it. I mean, millions of dollars raised, okay, allegedly, right? Allegedly millions of dollars raised, and he doesn't have anything to show for it at all when it comes to the academy, right? But yet, according to him, none of that money's ever went in his pockets, right? It's all just went into the school. It went into the academy, right? None of it ever went into his pockets. But again, nothing to show for it. Don't people find that to be strange? And now all of a sudden, he's talking about he's broke, right? He needs money. He needs donations, claiming that his bank account is frozen, which, again, I just find to be strange that he doesn't have multiple bank accounts, you know, just in case something like this happens. I mean, I remember dealing with a situation like this not too long ago, about a year ago. It was a terrible situation to, put it this way, it was an annoying situation to try to get out of. But it's certainly possible for you to have your account unfrozen and to get things going again. So, again, you know, there's just a lot of things that just are off about this. But, again, my point is that I guarantee you these so-called pro-black platforms, they're going to continue to platform this dude, even though he just continues to suck money out the pockets of black folks, and he has absolutely nothing to show for it, right? He has nothing to give back outside of hate and division, to be honest with you. It's sad. It really is.
Right now, I don't have any money because my account was frozen by my bank because someone has been trying to hack into my account, hack into FDMG Academy account. So the FDMG Academy account is frozen. My personal account is also frozen. That means we're going to lapse on our utility bills. We're going to lapse on our internet bill. We're going to lapse on a lot of our bills at FDMG. The bank is not giving me a timeline as to
he's not paying, you know what I'm saying, for license stuff. I don't know. The lights are on. I think they may be, but I don't think that they're legally on. I don't think they're like legitimately on because they have a legitimate account. I heard Dr. Lennon talk about how, you know, he called the school, or not the school, he called the electric company in the area that services where FDMG is located. And it said, yes, they actually saw that the school had lights on, but they were illegitimately hooked up.
have Cash App, nor does FDMG have Cash App. I do not have a Cash App. I only have Apple Pay and PayPal. If you can spare a few dollars, send it to my Apple Pay, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858, or my PayPal, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist. Although Leo season is off to a rocky start, brothers and sisters, we will overcome. Shout out to all my donors. Newark, New Jersey, I'ma see you. Nat Turner, I'ma see you. Mobile, Alabama, I'ma see you. New Orleans, Louisiana, Hurricane Katrina, I'ma see you. Kenya, January, I'ma see you. FDMG is coming. We just got to lay down on floors, brothers and sisters. Lay down on floors, and we applying for our certificate of occupancy. I don't have any money in my pocket because my account is frozen. If you can send a few dollars to Dr. Umar for Apple Pay or PayPal, I would greatly appreciate it. Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. Enjoy your weekend. Leo season forever. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies for never. Wow. 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 Again, that's what I'm talking about. His audience, he knows his audience. He knows his audience. Liberal black women, they want somebody to simp for him, and this dude is simping hard. But hey, it works, right? It works. He's a psychologist, so he certainly understands psychology and psychological techniques. Like, for example, the reason why he keeps repeating himself when he doesn't really need to is because he's trying to hammer home certain important things that he wants the audience to know. Like, for example, how to reach him, right? How to donate to him, okay? To give him the money, right? And you can tell this dude is he's definitely one of these guys that he knows exactly what's going on, right? He knows what time it is. And it's just sad that people have continued to platform this guy to give him credibility when he's already shown himself to be a failure, an absolute failure, a joke and embarrassment, right? But who knows? Maybe this guy actually really did get scammed. Okay. Again, he claimed that there was some fraudulent activity on his account. Somebody tried to log in his account or get into his account or whatever. Who knows? Okay. I believe he may or may not be in South Africa. So maybe the ancestors are working overtime. Maybe he got scammed by one of them Nigerian scammers, right? Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. At this point, this man needs to get a job, right? You need to get a job. This car right here, you better use this. You better start Ubering, brother, right? You better start Ubering, okay? You better hop on that app, sign up, and start ride sharing, okay? Go and get your real job, okay? Stop relying on these donations because, I mean, hey, he's using these donations to take these flights to Africa and all these other places, right? He's enjoying his life off donations. And again, it's just very, very, very sad that people continue to fall for this nonsense. But who knows? Maybe the grip is drying up, right? That's why he's asking for money, right? The grip is drying up. Maybe people are finally realizing that this guy is not who he claims to be, and donating money to this dude is like throwing your money away. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
It's a hot mess for Dr. Umar. It's a hot mess for him, y'all.
Sometimes we tend to be.
He trying to say that the lady that he hired as a caregiver to caregiver for his mother robbed his bank account. And that Lennon honor, the guy that, you know, stays on his neck.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jungle. As you guys may have heard, Dr. Umar Johnson has been going viral for the last 1 or 2 days. And right before this virality episode that we're experiencing here, he had some level of trouble with one of his ex-girlfriends from Kansas City. They were going back and forth. And, you know, he was talking about that her box stink, her stuff smells bad, but at the same time, he was still clapping the cheeks. And so the lady came out and she said something. She's an older lady, kind of heavy set lady out there in Kansas City, Missouri. And then recently in that particular episode, he was basically accusing her of stealing from FDMG Academy. That's what he was saying. Like, hey, this lady is stealing from, you know, from us and all this other stuff. So then after that, which was maybe a week ago, he came out and said this.
This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple of dollars. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple of dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th, only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank. And the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told that it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access into my personal account and the FDMG account.
It's called the
brothers and sisters. If you
IRS. It's called the IRS. It's called the IRS. Dr. Umar for the third time for your ass, in case you didn't get the memo.
You have sent a donation to FDMG. Let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. If you have sent a check of money
if
order,
the IRS has frozen Dr. Umar's accounts and things like that, because he ain't got no assets from what I hear. Okay. And nigga, you probably ain't gonna ever get it back. You may not ever get it back. People may have, got a lawsuit on Dr. Umar where he could be being sued right now for, people donating all this money to his supposed non-existent cause of this federal Douglas Marcus Garvey Academy. Who knows what he really got going on? They might seize his money because they're, looking to maybe give it back. However, they can, through GoFundMe's and stuff like that, you can get your money back. Well, I don't know about Cash Apps. I'm sure they can get receipts. I don't know Cash App. I think they're a scam in itself. But not for nothing. That's probably what may be occurring. The feds probably didn't seize Dr. Umar's asset or money, because they usually give you a time to expect your thing to be closed, right? 90 days, 30 days, 10 days, whatever, at like credit unions and little PayPals and Cash Apps and shit like that. They give you like some type of a little understanding of whatever type of window you got to look at for the possibility of them resolving your matter. So Dr. Umar is just full of scandal. He's full of, you know what I'm saying? Very easily information that can be debunked, while he got so much insight and understanding about everything else. It's like you don't have no understanding about the simple dynamics and policies and procedures of credit unions and shit. That's easy stuff to fucking understand and find out and figure out. But I think it's all for the purpose of grifting. He hoping somebody don't catch it like me and be like, but wait a minute, what? Dr. Lynn and Honor, all the rest of us that are listening with our third ear on your ass, watching with our third eye, you know what I'm saying? And picking up on all the little small talk that you think you throwing out amongst you, talking about how they got your money and Dr. Lynn and Honor got it, and the girl that you hired to take care of your mom got the money from you and all of this. I don't believe it personally, but whatever. I think it's the feds.
Donation to FDMG. Let's wait until August the 1st, Black August, and see if this situation has gotten cleared up. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. I was told that the timeline for suspicious activity was between June 20th. That's when Medea went public. Everybody knows who Medea is. July 25th, that's when Medea went public. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. July the 10th, I left for South Africa. So y'all know my Medea and Pastor Bussy were fraudulently trying to get into my account. And if we find out that's the case, they will be sued and possibly arrested, because Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal
That's probably
offense.
what he doing.
Fraudulent activity on a bank account is federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Again, June 25th to July 10th is the period of suspicious activity. That is from the time Medea went public and I left for South Africa. Between the time Medea went public and I went for South Africa. So brothers and sisters, if you want to make a donation to FDMG, you must send it to PayPal.
And I also hear the suspicions of Dr. Umar being on drugs, and spending his money on women, partying, booze, drugs, wild nights out in Vegas type lifestyle is what I understand goes on in the underbelly side of the situation with Dr. Umar. After all of these prolific talks about celebrities and everybody else, we just hear that Dr. Umar, has a very, very salacious lifestyle. So
hold off on the checks and money orders until the situation is resolved. Hold off on all FDMG Academy money order and check donations until the situation is resolved. If you want to make a donation to FDMG, send it through PayPal. Right? PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. If you want to make a donation to the school, hold off on checks and money orders until we find out what the hell is going on. The bank is investigating the fraudulent attempts on our account.
So now he's saying that his account is basically frozen. He doesn't know why it's frozen. It's frozen. After that, he asks for this.
Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal.
So now he's asking for help. He's saying, send me some money on PayPal, which is interesting because PayPal is linked to your bank account. I'm going to get back to Dr. Umar Johnson in just a moment. I was more concerned about the reactions to this. And so it brought me to Dr. Boyce Watkins. Dr. Boyce Watkins went to Instagram and he then took a passive aggressive shot at Dr. Umar Johnson. He did so without saying anything. So basically, he's reacting to Dr. Umar Johnson. He writes no comment. We know that Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Umar Johnson do not like each other at all, right? He's drinking water on the clip and basically, in so many words, making fun of his situation because Dr. Umar Johnson is a scammer. But wait a minute, Dr. Boyce Watkins, while you're putting yourself into this situation, we want to remind you of this.
And my instinct said, okay, he's really thought this through. He's really laid this out. This is going to be nice. This infrastructure is solid. And I immediately gained faith in what Jay was doing. I said, okay, you know what? I'll back you. Let me know what I can do. Let me know how I can help. I was one of the initial investors. I stepped right up and wrote my check and sent it in and I said, I'm in this. And we talked about it. I supported. People asked me about it. And I always, whenever they ask me about it, I always tell them the same thing. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to participate? I believe in the fund. I believe in Mr. and Mrs. Morrison. This is just the beginning. I am happy to invest my money. I will invest more money. I can't wait to see all the great things.
Dr. Boyce Watkins, do you know about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? Oh yeah, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, Dr. Boyce Watkins. And both of these guys are legitimate doctors. You had Dr. Boyce Watkins, a PhD in finance, his claim to fame. I believe he got this from the Ohio State University. I believe he went to University of Kentucky undergrad. He's taught at some really good schools, guest lecturer at the University of Munich. went to the University of Kentucky undergrad. So this is Dr. Boyce Watkins is legit as they come. But Dr. Boyce Watkins referred the black community and endorsed Jay Morrison. Then when the black community got scammed for over $12 million,
I thought
Boyce
that's what that
Watkins was in his passive aggressive tone disrespectful to black people. What did he tell us? He said, you don't go to white folks and say this when they scam you. You didn't say that. But now you're over here making fun of Dr. Umar Johnson, and both of y'all are the same. Okay? Both of y'all are the same.
Oh, he is exposing Dr. Boyce. I had heard about the Tulsa real estate fraud scam, and I had no idea that Dr. Boyce Watkins was in the middle of it. Oh, my. So we learning some new tea today, sippers. We are learning some new tea. We out here looking for tea on Dr. Umar and just stumbled up on some tea about Dr. Boyce Watkins. If y'all are not familiar with him, he just familiarized you with him, introduced you to him. Okay. I listen to Dr. Boyce Watkins from time to time. He's, a little piece of education about Black finance and Black life and living and, life in general and all that great stuff. So yeah, he's a little bit of some tea. I had no idea that he was in the Tulsa real estate fraud thing that they had going around, where they were grifting people, telling people, invest in this, invest in that, and we're going to build up a Black, community for Black people in Tulsa, Oklahoma to, settle and have commerce in our own little Black way. And Black people jumped on it and gave like 12 million.
So who are you? Like you were responsible for the Black community losing $12 million. And that's actually more than what Dr. Umar scammed them for. Yeah, Dr. Umar Johnson is definitely a scammer, but Boyce, you got some nerves. I don't know who you think you is, really. And see, it's always people in the Black community like these guys that want to talk about invest in this, invest in that, and then one of their little homes, because they always fight each other. All the dudes asking for money is beefing with each other in the Black community. All of them. None of them can work together. So they all get mad. They all get upset. And they go back around and do that. This is what they do, family. This is what they do. And Boyce Watkins, you ought to be ashamed of your damn self. To be honest, you ought to be ashamed. Guys, with the issue boy. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. With episode of
That is hilarious.
What'd you do for all you just heard the bell? We're out.
That is hilarious. We done stumbled upon some Boyce Watkins tea, y'all. Like and subscribe when you come into the tea chat room. We are sipping tea with Tanisha Talks Teas. What's this? We are reviewing everything Dr. Umar right now going broke, y'all. I don't think Dr. Umar ever went broke. I think Dr. Umar has always been broke. Dr. Umar has always had a broken mentality of never knowing how to really manage money. I hear he ain't never had his own place.
Good news. Y'all, Dr. Umar, y'all, he is hollering po mouth. I'm broke. My bank accounts is frozen.
That's what we hear, girl. That's what we hearing. So I'm just strolling along. We review all of the reviews of the tea, because inside that tea is always some more tea, right? We just found out about Dr. Boyce in this big scamming situation with some real estate down in Tulsa to the tune of 12 million. Okay. Crazy work. Dr. Umar Boss Talk. Let's hear what the OGs of the streets are talking about Dr. Umar. Remember to like and subscribe as you get your tea filled up. Tanisha Talk Teas.
Yeah,
We on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E, the reason you see.
It's your big brother, King Kong. I need y'all to listen up. I got a very important announcement. I need y'all to listen up. I got a very important announcement. I'm only going to keep you a few minutes. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th.
We done heard his baby. We done heard his baby online crying. Dr. Umar won't even help her. Dr. Umar done had millions of dollars and your daughter is online crying. She homeless. She ain't got a tiny house or nothing. You could have built her a tiny house. A goddamn container homes. You sad, Dr. Umar.
Discovered that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank. And the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen.
Wow, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Guys, I've been following Dr. Umar for a while. I even spoke to him on the phone a couple of times. And I'm a big supporter of what he seems to represent. But OG been on me about it, and OG, I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but Umar going through it right now. His account's been frozen. Dr. Umar, I'm sorry.
You're talking about Jermaine Shoemake?
What?
His name is Jermaine.
He said that's that nigga name.
This is Dr. Umar.
His mama did not name him. Dr. Umar's, let me see what Dr. Umar's real name is. The man just said it though. Hold on. His mama did not name him Umar. What is Dr. Umar Johnson's real birth given name? Exactly. Dr. Umar Rashad born Jermaine, that's my husband's name, Shoemake, August 21st, 1974. Okay, is his name, as OG said.
Excuse me, sir. Johnson is a native of North Philadelphia. His mother is Barbara Shoemake, and his father was Jamal Abdullah Johnson, a Marine. Umar Johnson was born August the 21st, 1974, as Jermaine Shoemake.
And that's okay to like take on of the, feeling that you have within yourself to want to, just breathe all in your African heritage. That there's nothing wrong with that. But for you to grift, like people be like, I'm related to Shaquille O'Neal. That's my third cousin on my mama's side. Type shit. And you just lying like we have no real, confirming evidence that he's Marcus Garvey's grandson or some shit. But he has his whole family even grifting off this shit. His little nephew was talking to Lynn and Honor about them really being related to Marcus Garvey. And I mean, he could be, but I don't, I just think that it's also a part of his panhandle story. So.
O-E-M-A-K-E, since you don't think I said it right. Shoemake.
So you refusing to call Dr. Umar.
Umar Johnson is back they call him in the day, he's selling snake oil to folks.
OG, he speaks with. Now, I've seen him on the Breakfast Club. I've seen him on. I think he's been on $1 Million for Game. He's been on every platform. They love him. He's trying to build a school. He's got.
Wait a minute. You can find the Titanic before you build this school. It ain't built yet.
Thank you.
He been getting money from people, black people.
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay dipping.